Hey everybody, the Johnny Cage here, welcoming you to another episode of the Game Cage. Today it's time to saddle up and load up your 6-shooter because we are playing some Sunset Riders for the Super Nintendo. Made by Konami in 1993 when they couldn't do no wrong in the 8 and 16-bit era of gaming. Now this game has a spot near and dear to my heart, as most games that I play on the Game Cage do, because there used to be a Pizza Hut not very far from my house, and when I heard that we were going to the Pizza Hut, I knew that I was in for more than just the greasiest pizza around. I was in for some shoot-'em-up arcade action because they knew they had an arcade game of Sunset Riders. And sure, they had some other games, but they didn't matter at all. It was all about being a bounty hunter in the Wild West with people like Steve and Billy and going around and shooting up some bad guys with our hands full of greasy, sausagey pizza of death. Oh man, those were some good times. Anyhow, this game actually has not a sequel, but another version of it for the Genesis, which is very different, believe it or not. You'd think that most games like this would be the same, but just like Aladdin is so different from the Super Nintendo version to the Genesis version, the Genesis version tends to be more of a platformer almost. Still has a lot of the shoot 'em up to it as well, but both very different games. So if you don't have a Super Nintendo, you can always pick up for the Genesis if you want. And today I'm going to actually break one of my own little rules. I'm going to give myself a couple more lives than what the default gives me, just because I want to show you guys a little bit more than just the first level, because this game is hard. And keep in mind that this game was invented to eat your quarters. So first things first, we got to choose which guy we're going to be. I prefer Bob or Cormano because they have shotguns, as where Billy and Steve have revolvers, which shoot faster, but you don't fire as many shots. So I'll go with Bob, classic cowboy name. And it looks like this time around we're after Mr. Simon Greedwell, dead or alive, 10,000 clams. I like the sound of that. So when you start off, you can play around with your gun. You can fire in all 8 directions, which is really awesome. Whenever you see a door that's open up, just push up, and you'll go into it, and you'll get something. Like here I get the power-up, so now I have dual guns, which allows me to pretty much fill the screen. I mean, it's like spread shot for Contra. Or I could go get myself a prostitute. Oh yeah, good times in the Old West. Very similar to Contra, actually. You have the one-hit kills. You have weapon upgrades, and right now I practically have the spread shot, so be careful. As you can tell, the bullets do move really slowly, very Wild Guns-esque. I also love the gigantic explosions that they have for the dynamite. They're just completely over the top. So the game is pretty simple, all in all. It's just standard fare, just don't get shot. There's lots of little things that you can do to get away from bullets. Well, actually one in particular, and that's the slide maneuver, which I'll show off in a little bit. Not to be confused with the Mega Man slide maneuver, but if you push A on the controller, you'll automatically slide in whatever direction you're going. So you don't even have to hold down, which makes things easier. And we got some dynamite. I guess we'll wait for that to blow up. Boom! Man! Now that's exciting. So there's the slide, and you're going to want to learn how to do the slide perfectly. It's essential for beating a game like this, because it will just completely destroy you otherwise. This game, like I said, I'll probably say it a few more times, made to eat quarters, so do the best you can. Take that, little thief man. I'll take your money too. Very tough to get lives in this game as well, so don't think that you're going to be able to pick up a lot of lives along the way, unlike in Contra, where, actually in Contra, I think people will give that a bad rap for being so difficult because it's so hard to get lives without using the Konami code, but, you can get lives in that game fairly easily, point-wise. Here, oh, not so much. Get some little running of the bulls, and here's our first level boss, Mr. Simon Greedwell, and you could fight and take him out without shooting the barrels, but I find it much more effective to take out the barrels first. You just gotta make sure that they don't fall on you when you take them out. You gotta love the voice acting in here too. I mean, they tried. So as you can see, with bullets everywhere, one barely scathed me before it hit the ground. I would recommend not jumping very much, because you'll likely just jump into bullets, and you don't really have a little mini jump. You have to go full on super jump, where you literally could jump to the second story of a building, which is something you can do just like in Contra. If you hold up and jump, you can jump to a secondary platform, which is very useful. Oh man, you got dead again. Alright, come on, Simon Greedwell. Spam the shot. Spam it. Oh crap, bullets are coming too fast. Oh, come on. Boom! And there he goes. What do you have to say now, Simon Greedwell? Bury me with my money. Of course you would say that. But I'm gonna take your money. Woo! Reward $10,000 gives you a boss damaging ratio. Here I got 100%. After every couple levels, there's a bonus round where you can shoot targets by moving around on the D-pad. Like if the enemy is in the top right, then you shift the D-pad to the top right and you just hit the button. I don't think we'll get there though, because I don't plan on making it past the second stage. But this second stage is something kind of notable because it's only one of 2 stages in the game where you have a horse. So, and although you can't do much on the horse, it adds a different, element to the game. Of course, you have to watch out for stagecoach dropping logs at you, and oh, that guy just blatantly just shot me right out of the back of it. Jeez, well, that wasn't very nice. Luckily, your horse is quite dependable, and this guy can jump like crazy. Look at it! He jumps right over bullets. How are you supposed to stop a green-haired horse that jumps over bullets, huh? You're not. You just can't. All right, this is the Wild West. You're not gonna be able to do that. This might as well be the Wild Wild West, because it just ain't gonna happen. This level's a little slow compared to the first one, and unfortunately you can't change planes that you're on, so you have to keep on going in this middle ground right here. I can't go up and down on the horse actually. I can just jump with him, and eventually Mr. Choo Choo Train will show up. A good strategy is just to stay at the back and have the gun pointed backwards, and you can generally take out a good portion of the enemies before they even show up on the screen. A little cheap, but when you're dealing with a cheap game, you gotta take every advantage that you can get. That's just my pro tip for the day, right there. I think that's number, 584? Awesome. I should write a book on those. Anyhow, so take out these little guys that don't do much. It takes them a few seconds to even shoot their guns, so I think you should be able to handle it pretty well. They also have 2 players, as you can tell by the push start here. Unfortunately, they never made this game compatible with the multi-tap for the Super Nintendo, which is a real shame because the arcade version had 4-player compatibility, which was one of the drawing points of it. But as you can see at some points already, this game can get pretty chaotic with the amount of bullets on the screen. So I don't know, maybe it's a good thing they didn't do that. But alright, so we finally have taken care of the train. Oh, my green-haired horse. That's just an awesome horse. If I had a horse, I'd totally want my horse to have green hair. That's just so bad. Like the Power Glove. So bad that it's good. And finally, we walk off. No need for a horse now. Oh no, because now it's time we meet this Hawkeye dude in his weird Don Johnson Miami Vice turquoise suit. Very stylized version of the Wild West, too, I must say. Draw, Pilgrim! Yeah! And it's on. Now this fight, this one's much more fast-paced than the first one was. This guy will jump and roll around these crates everywhere. It can be tough to get a good shot on him. You definitely want to play this fight a lot more defensively. Otherwise, you're going to be in real trouble. And hopefully you've already got that slide move down really well, or else you're really, it's going to be a rough one for you. I mean, it'll probably be a rough one regardless. Oh, I can't believe I didn't get shot there. Alright, we got him blinking pretty good now. Come on, come on. Oh, right in the thigh. Oh, there's a snake in my boot. Oh, now he's down here. Shoot out. You must die. No. Well, he got me. Well, there you go, guys. There's a solid 8 minutes or so of Sunset Riders. A really fun game. Unfortunately, it's a really expensive game, too. For just the cartridge alone in a retail setting, it can go for as much as $40. But on eBay, you might be able to get a little bit cheaper. And if we're talking about the Sega Genesis version, you can get that for probably no more than 20 bucks, actually. Although it's not a true port of the actual arcade game. But it's not so bad either. Anyhow, guys, this has been the Johnny Cage. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment if you have not. And I'll talk to all of you guys tomorrow.